So I'm sitting here back in my home village in Kenya, just celebrated my sister's wedding, Hope, to Kevin. I now have a big brother, which is, the character of these two people is just amazing. It's an honor to be associated with you guys. It was an honor to be there yesterday, or 2 days ago now. Man, it was so much joy, so much energy. It was such a wedding of the year, honestly, wedding of the decade. But no, the character of both Kevin and Hope is just, the verse that I keep thinking about is Romans 12, I think it's verse 9 or 10, that talks about, let love be sincere and honor one another, serve one another. But this idea of almost like, I'm going to out honor you. And those are just two servants, two people who have such a willingness to serve. So it was great to see such a union. So this is supposed to be, I guess, the 4-month update, but it's more so like the 5-month update since I quit my job to be an entrepreneur. And it's been a very, very rewarding journey. Learned a lot, still a lot more to learn. And we are in a much better place than that 2-month update. But anyway, if you want to see the full journey, like I said, it's just, with this whole thing, I'm just sharing like honestly where things are, the journey from being in corporate, being a full-time engineer, 10 years in that, to now quitting and being an entrepreneur, and the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, just so that, hopefully it can encourage somebody. And also you can just see the real thing. And also I can look back on it one day and thank God for the journey and remember the highs and the lows. So, a lot has changed since I last sat down to talk about an update. And honestly, the biggest thing is that I'm no longer trying to do everything myself. Growing up, I feel like I can proclaim myself as a hard worker, but that term hard working is changing with how I live it out these days. I was a kid who, whether it was sports, working out, school, whatever, like, let's talk about sports, like anything physical. Like if I was doing anything physical, run track, cross country, all that, I felt like if I wasn't like sweating, like my body is fully drenched, my shirt, whatever is fully drenched, I was like, oh, I didn't work hard enough. In practice, we will run so hard to where like I couldn't even sit without my legs just like twitching. Could barely walk back to the car. So it's almost like, that same ethic, that same whatever you want to call it, into work. It's like if I'm not working hard to the point where I feel like I'm breaking my body or my mind or whatever, then I feel like I'm not working hard enough. But now I'm like, I'm still working hard, but working hard is not the goal. The goal is to work in such a way to use my gifts or what I'm good at or resources or, bring in more people who are best at what they do so that we can serve the client the best way. And so I can also live the most healthy way and the people who are working with me can all flourish. So it's a win-win, it's a win-win for me, win-win for the people working with me, and win-win for the client, whoever we're trying to serve. So that's what working hard looks like for me these days. And so even in just my business now, I have found an editor, which is so cool because he's a better editor than I am. And that's even when I give him something, I'm like, oh yeah, that looks good. He's like, well, from an artistic standpoint, or maybe from like a storytelling standpoint, it's not flowing well. And I love that, the fact that it's not just about, okay, I'm here to collect a paycheck, or I'm here to just do what I gotta do and dip, but he really is trying to always squeeze out and bring out the best of whatever I have filmed, and even gives me notes. I'm like, I feel like if you shot it this way, I might be able to do this. So that's been really cool. Before I quit, I had one company, Decaptured. I have had other companies in the past that failed. Like Intrinsically Bestowed is really what started this whole thing, and it has branched out into where we are now. But Decaptured, that's really personal. That's like an extension of me. So when people hire Decaptured, they know that I'm going to be there. And Decaptured, I'm going to leave that to be more so like people-facing company. So like, weddings, portraits, family photos, things like that. But then Simba Media House, that's the newest company. So we'll just say we're now at number 2. Simba Media House is going to be specifically for real estate media. Anything related with real estate, whether it's a real estate agent, a real estate team, brokerage, just a real estate brand. Even like when I go back within this next week, I have, for example, doing some branding content for a lender. She's not an agent, I don't believe, but she's a lender and she's in real estate. So that's really what Simba Media House is going to be for. And so with Simba Media House, I don't want it to be about me or around me. It needs to exist completely, even if I'm not in the picture. I know right now people are hiring Simba Media House because of me, because right now I'm the face of it, but I'm bringing people in, partners, friends, workers, whatever, associates, whatever. We're going to work and grow this thing to the point where we can serve as many clients with the highest quality possible without me being the bottleneck. And the good thing about that is being able to bring in people who are experts at what they do and are better than me, or even if they're not better than me right now, it's been people so far that are willing to learn, and I believe they're going to hone in their craft and become better than me, and that's a really cool thing. Even right now, while I've been away, things have been happening without me being there. And something I've already learned is like, man, as somebody who's thorough, or let's just say AKA a perfectionist, man, it's been stretching to just be like, all right, let me open up my hands, because these are people who are really, really good at what they do. Let them do their thing, and even where they might not be the best at it, they're willing to learn. And instead of me trying to like, no, let's do it this way. So that's been the side that is growing me. And I'm very thankful for all these people just willing to just jump in, and we can figure it out together. And I can step back and let them do their thing. And I'm going to continue to work on my communication so that I can give clear guidelines. Here's the goal, here's the vision, and here are the guardrails. Otherwise, do what you gotta do. And if you wanna move the guardrails, let's talk. We'll listen and we can come up with something, because I don't wanna be the kind of visionary or leader or whatever who is so stuck on what I think is right, then I'm not willing to have something penetrate and shake that up so that we can end up with the best mixture of whatever we're trying to do. So yeah, that's honestly, I guess this whole video is turning into a video about delegation, but that's really the biggest thing that has changed. So when I get back, I guess soon, because I'm boarding the plane later today, when I get back, we're hitting the ground running. I think we have like what, 3 listings that I'm gonna shoot, and then an engagement shoot, and then the branding content for the lender. Simba Media House, the second company, that's going to be more the powerhouse, more the heavy hitter in terms of just the breadwinner, where it's going to be able to feed my family and feed and help also the people who are helping me out feed their families and serve a lot of people. So that one is going to be more like business facing. And then the third company we have now, because I think we're up to 4 companies now since I quit, so we added 3. Third company, Wanajenga, which is for our real estate investing. Yeah, so Wanajenga LLC, which Wanajenga means they are building. Jenga, like the game means build in Swahili. So Wanajenga, they are building, and that one is for the real estate investing that we have. The first rental really worked out for us in so many different ways. One being that the investor who we bought it from, he had a really good contractor, so it's only like 960 square feet, which is tiny, and many people will probably scoff at that. Not the kind of home that most people will say is their forever home or family home or whatever. But that's not really been the people who we've been targeting. We'll be targeting more working professionals, and it has served those people so good. So yeah, back in 2020, I was sent out to Arizona. It was supposed to be 2 months back with my company, and I was going out there to help with some engineering on site for a semiconductor facility. And obviously I loved it. I loved Arizona. I loved the weather and everything. And at first, so we were given a per diem for food, lodging, all that kind of stuff. My friend, so before I went out there, my friend Nathan Hunt suggested, like, hey, look, man, you need to sign up for every rewards program you can think of. So hotels, airline, and car rental, which was great because I started with 0, but since my company was paying for everything, by the time I was leaving there, I had like thousands of points worth of travel, which was just great because anytime we needed to go anywhere, didn't pay for a hotel for like a year or so. But although all the hotels were nice and cool, we tried all the hotels, and we just stuck with Marriott. So all the hotels in the Marriott chain, we just tried all of them. But it got old very fast, because after like the second week or so, we're like, man, this is great. Somebody's serving us, all this, all that, whatever. But we felt very locked in. And we drove out there with Hadassah. Our firstborn, she was 6 months, I believe. So me, Anna, Hadassah had gone all the way there, pit stopped in Texas, Austin, Texas, where my sister was, and then continued the drive. And finally, we were just like, all right, after 2 weeks in the hotel, we need to find something that we can like just breathe a little bit, and we were struggling as first-time parents, even just how do you get a kid to sleep without a lot of crying. And so felt terrible for like our neighbors, whoever was on the other side of the wall for all the hotel. So anyway, eventually I found out that Marriott had a chain called Homes and Villas, which were houses that you could go and you could pay for rent, whatever, through their system. And I guess my company didn't want me to just rent whatever, like Airbnb or anything like that. It had to be through a hotel chain, maybe for safety, I'm not sure. But it was really cool that we found Homes and Villas. And looking back, I didn't understand everything, but looking back, it literally was a property management company that was somehow connected with people who had midterm rentals. And so yeah, it was midterm rentals that you could rent through Marriott under their Homes and Villas. For working professionals, that was amazing. For us, I mean, we found a house. We ended up having 2 houses because we were there for 4 months. But we found a house, a pool, a hot tub, and it was just great. And it's so cool for you to come all the way full circle, because that's exactly what we're doing now. We literally have a midterm rental, and it is only 960 square feet, which some people may scoff at that, because maybe like, okay, maybe that's not like a family home or like a forever home or whatever, but that's not really who we're targeting. We're targeting working professionals. And so far it's been great. Put a fence around it, put railing, all of that. So right now we're just trying to do the same thing with our second home. And the tenants, literally the first tenant, I think, was an engineer for like 10 days. He was just visiting for work I guess it must just been a short time. Second guy was a doctor. He was there for 2 months. And the people now are engineers. I believe there's 2 right now, yeah, because there were 3 people, but only 2 at a time. The one brought in anyway, the people in there right now are engineers. So it's just cool that the very thing that we needed, that thing that we were craving, and we eventually found through Marriott Homes and Villas, that's what we're trying to provide right now. And it's serving people. And it's a win-win, for people who don't want to stay in a hotel. It ends up being cheaper, and you end up having more privacy. And for us, it ends up being more money than if we were doing long-term rentals. Anyway, maybe one day we'll break down all the numbers for whoever might be interested. We're not experts, but it's working out. So now we're trying to do the same thing with our second rental, which has been a pain. It's been a pain to find contractors, called at least maybe 20 or so. And maybe a few responded, and eventually got quotes from 2 of them, chose one. We're locked in now. Well, we've started, signed the contract and everything. So I hope that when we get back home, it's not been a foolish decision. Hopefully they're doing their thing. And that would be a big blessing if we can just lock in with them, communicate well, and then rinse and repeat. Because our first house rental is only 960 square feet, but that contractor was able to turn it into a 3-2, and that's what we're doing now. Our house now, I think, is 1072, so a little bit bigger, but still a tiny place. And if we can turn it into a 3-2 and not do the bare minimum with it, and do what's economical but also on the nicer side of a rental, I feel like it's going to do very well. For now, the biggest thing now, honestly, is just finding contractors, people who we can work well together, and lock in for the rest of our real estate journey. So that's company number 3. So yeah, Decaption, Simba Media House, which Simba Media House is launching in July. And then company number 4 now is Safi Vending, which we have everything set except for the vending machine. We're thinking about buying some AI vending machines, and then finding places where maybe there's a lot of traffic, a lot of employees where people will benefit from it, and see how that goes. So yeah, Ecclesiastes chapter 11. Ship your grain across the sea. After many days you may receive a return. Invest in 7 ventures, yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. If clouds are full of water, they pour rain on the earth. Whether a tree falls to the south or to the north, in the place where it falls, there it will lie. Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks, at the clouds will not reap. So you do not know the path of the wind, or how, as you do not know the path of the wind, or how the body is formed in a mother's womb, so you cannot understand the work of God, the maker of all things. Sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well. Light is sweet, and it pleases the eyes to see the sun. However many years anyone may live, let them enjoy them all, but let them remember the days of darkness, for there will be many. Everything to come is meaningless. You who are young, be happy while you are young, and let your heart give you joy in the days of your youth. Follow the ways of your heart, and whatever your eyes see. But know that for all these things, God will bring you into judgment. That's been a cool chapter, just about, investing in many ventures, and just living life and taking risks and honoring God, knowing that at the end of everything, enjoy being young, do what I need to do, go for it fully, and obviously the Lord will judge me for what I do and what I don't do. And I want to honor Him with the things that He's given me, with the vision, the skills, the upbringing, just everything that He has put into my life, the people, the resources, the lessons, the failures, the ups, the downs, everything. I want to honor Him with how I live, as opposed to just playing it safe. I want to really go for it, and He'll take care of the rest. It's been really good being home. I guess we shall go eat some breakfast. Cannot wait to be back, I guess, in South Carolina, so we can get this thing rolling. But yeah, Simba Media House, go check it out if you're an upstate real estate agent or in the real estate industry. And if you're not, and you know people in that industry, send them to simbamediahouse.com. Let's do this thing.